Well, thanks for coming back. And Carrie, we have what I think is just a really special and unique kind of story, and I'm not going to reveal it. I'm going to let our guest reveal it because, I don't know, it's special from this standpoint. So we in Humble ISD, I think, for many years, and I believe rightfully so, we value teaching service.
Mm-hmm.
We think service to others is important, as service to the community, service to your school, just all of that. And I think this is a special story about service. So first and foremost, let me introduce all of you to one of our amazing Woodland Hills fifth graders, Iman Alatar. Welcome.
Thank you.
And it's good to have you. You are looking very sharp today.
Very sharp.
And sitting next to Iman is her mom,
Yes.
Marie Alatar. Marie, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for your involvement in the Woodland Hills PTA.
Thank you.
Parent involvement means everything, and we really appreciate that. And you have brought a very extraordinary neighbor.
Yes.
Introduce Diane Floyd. And Diane, welcome to you.
Thank you.
And you all have a very important part in this story. So, Eamon, let me ask you to share with all of us. So, what is it that you did for your school?
Well, we were having our carnival in the fall this year, and so we made quilts to donate to the fall carnival so they could auction them off for money.
And Eamon, you made those quilts?
Yeah, she was kind of supervising me and helping me, and then I learned a bunch of new stuff whenever we were making them. Like, I learned how to put borders. I learned how to stitch in the ditch. I learned a whole lot of good material.
And if I may ask, how many quilts did you?
13.
13 quilts.
Wow.
If you know any, and I know this much about quilting, I admit I love quilts, I admire them, but I know that much. But it's a lot of work, and it really takes a special talent to produce 19 quilts. Have you been doing this for years?
1 year.
1 year. Gosh. All right, my last question, Iman. Do you do anything else but quilts?
I love reading. In the summer, I do swim team.
Awesome.
And then quilting's just another hobby of mine.
Well, you know, we only have 24 hours in a day, but I think you figured out a way to stretch that. So.
Yeah, very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Marie, obviously your mom, but you're also, Guy had mentioned earlier, PTA volunteer, and our schools cannot exist without our wonderful parent volunteers. They really, really, truly can't. So obviously it was for a fundraiser, Fall Carnival. PTA, how much money did the quilts bring in?
Her quilts alone raised over $500.
Wow. Yeah, that's wonderful. And that has to make you feel proud that you're helping your school.
A whole lot.
A whole lot. That's great. So what did the PTA think of this endeavor?
I think everyone was blown away. They just were, amazed that she, could keep up, she's an A student and, still carried on with her other activities, and we're all so proud of her. Everyone is.
And rightfully so.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, and Diane, you are more than just an amazing neighbor.
Yes.
Well, I try.
Tell us about your part in this amazing story.
We went through my fabric stash.
She has a big one.
And I have 2 rooms of fabric.
Okay.
And we found panels like this this one's patriotic, but there were many other kinds.
Okay.
And then Iman has this wonderful eye for color. And she found all these red, white, and blue fabrics in the stash, and she decided how they would be on each quilt. And then she decided what the back would be. And this is Iman's eye of color that we see here. And, there's some wild-looking things on here, but it all works together.
It sure does.
Yeah.
It's
so
beautiful.
the panel was already made, that's to here.
Okay.
And then that border and that border and that border were added after that. And then I was teaching her how to do borders at that time. We had done other quilts together, but this one was teaching her how to do borders, and then what she said was stitch in the ditch. That means to run your sewing machine up every line here, all the way around, so that the batting in between cannot move.
I see. Okay.
And then I did the inside here where things were a little bit complicated, so I did that. But she did all the outside borders of everything.
Wow.
Wonderful.
And she did that for 13 quilts.
That's a lot
So
of quilts.
it was a lot.
So Diane, have you taught quilting before, or is Iman your first
Iman
student?
is my first student, and she just came over one day and asked if I could help her with a quilt, and we've been working on it since.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
a wonderful story.
Yep.
Well, Diane, you've got a future. I mean, you're a pretty good teacher.
Well, I taught in Humble schools for 29 years.
Awesome.
That's wonderful.
Awesome.
So this,
I left just before you came.
Is that,
Yeah.
so you were smart.
Yeah.
You did.
No, I retired when the magic number hit 80.
I got you. That is so great, though.
Yeah.
well, and a wonderful opportunity for you to, even though you're retired teaching, you're really not. You're working with our students. You're helping the schools raise money. I mean, what a wonderful way to give back.
Oh, yeah.
And we haven't kept her out of the school. In fact, she came to do a presentation to the Woodland Hills 5th grade GT students about quilts. That's their project this year. And she came and brought 5 of her own quilts and shared with the students. And it was just an amazing presentation. And everybody, all the students enjoyed it, even the boys. They were all very engaged in the presentation.
That's awesome. Well, of course, Woodland Hills is a special place.
Yes, it is.
I'm a little biased, but it's really a special place. And I'm sorry, they're waving us on that we need to wrap it up, but Iman, I don't want to wrap it up till I say something to you and ask you just one more question. I mean, that truly is a work of art.
Yes,
Have you always been kind of inclined artistically?
Well, before I found quilting, I loved reading, and so that kind of opens up a whole lot for you. And I liked drawing at the time, and it was just kind of like scribble, pretty pictures, like that kind of thing. But it wasn't really like it was. My hobby at that time was really swimming and all that kind of stuff. But then whenever I found quilting, that kind of just moved all the other hobbies aside, except for swimming and reading.
Okay.
Wow, well, that is so awesome.
It really is awesome.
Well, thank you very much again, and thanks for sharing with us, because this really is a very, very, I think, special story, and you're a very special young lady.
Thank
So
you.
congratulations. And Marie, thank you too again for your service to the PTA and for sharing Iman with us. And Diane, thanks for dedicating your life to children.
It doesn't stop, does it, Diane?
Nope.
Keeps going.
You're still making a pretty significant difference. And you all please stay with Carrie and I. We're going to be back with another story in just a moment.